And welcome everyone back to the Neonates Boston Chronicle. We are on episode 5, which is titled Relics. When we last left our intrepid group, they had gone to a contested construction site, beat down some shovel heads, put them in torpor, and started digging where they discovered a stone slab marked with some writing none of them identified, and with a date of 1621. And when we last left, they were in the pit and just had uncovered this stone slab. So, and just for record keeping, um, we Peanut Juice Storm is not joining us, so I will be playing his character as needed, Mr. Jackson, the Semity. So, gentlemen, we are now in this dark pit that we dug about 5 feet down and got to this slab of stone.
All right. This is going to be like an Indiana Jones moment here. Who's got the crowbars? How heavy is this stone slab that's on the top of this thing?
Well, you've dug, like a as once you hit the ground, you started clearing out. Hit the stone rather. You started clearing out around, and you got to the edge. So more or less now, this pit is somewhat shaped like the pit you would put a coffin down in, more or less. Not as not as nicely dug like that, but more or less the same measurements. The stone is about 3 feet wide, by about 5.5 feet long. And you haven't really started digging down around the edges to see how thick or deep this slab is, but that's the top measurements of it.
All right, go ahead, do that.
So you're gonna
I'm not doing it. No.
Oh.
That menial labor is not for me. That's not
of course.
That's not my jam.
You're supervising, is what you're
That's
saying.
That's right. Yeah, I'm like the foreman.
Okay.
I feel so, go get them. I don't like, man, I'm so productive today as other people do my job.
So Mr. Jackson kind of, okay, well, he doesn't feel too bad about doing this, so
put those, claws to good use or whatever you got going on there.
Yeah. So he starts using the shovel and starts digging toward the edge there. Doesn't take very long. He says the slab of stone is apparently only about 2 inches thick, and it's apparently covering something.
Satan. Yeah, man. Dig around the edges. Let's lift that bad boy off there and see what's under the hood.
All right. So are you assisting Joker?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And what about you? What about Anna? What's Anna doing, Drac?
I'm pretty sure she was off inspecting the woods.
Oh, yeah. That's right. We'll get back to you in just a moment.
Yep.
So
suddenly there's a fire in the woods.
The wood. Oh no.
So as you dig around the edges, scrape away the dirt. Clearly, this is the first time. The dirt has not been turned for as long as you can, for forever. Since this was probably put here, it does not look like this is. Does not look like this has been dug up in, as I said, in quite some time, if not since it was first placed here. The dirt is fairly well packed, mixed in with various debris and such. But yeah, it's not. But with the tools you have, with a little elbow grease, you're able to clear around edges, and it seems that there is the top stone is sitting on a wall that goes around the edges, creates some sort of chamber or area of field stones. If you ever seen some very tight stonework, stone wall, that's kind of like what this stone is on around the edges.
Like my house?
Yes. Without mortar, it is. It doesn't seem like there's mortar within the gapes of the stones. It's just very well placed and chiseled field stones that form like this base that this stone slab is sitting on top of. So you're not sure how far down it goes, whether could be a couple feet, could be a tunnel with a ladder. You don't quite know how far these feet, this box per se goes down.
All right. Well, I mean, standing orders. Let's get the lid off this bitch and see what's going on.
All right. The lid seems to simply be placed on. It does not doesn't seem to be mortared in or any kind of any doesn't seem to be really held on there simply just by gravity.
All right. Great.
Push it off.
All right. So Joker and Mr. Jackson each grab one side, and with a little effort, able to. Well, with both of your efforts, we won't bother with a roll here. You're able to get it off, and you push it off, and what you see inside is basically they made these field stones I was talking about. They seem to have made kind of like a coffin-like area. It's, as I said, about 5 feet, 5.5 feet long, about 3 feet wide, and it only goes about 2 feet deep. And inside you see some skeletal remains. Let's see, does anybody... let me pull up. Does anybody have medicine?
Mr. Jackson does.
Oh, okay. Let me roll for Mr. Jackson then.
Doctor.
That's right.
Hey, Peter. Also, when you get a chance, I was gonna, potentially put any rolls that I did inside the Chronicle members tab, or text channel rather, but for some reason it says that you do not have permission to send messages in the channel, even though I have sent messages in that channel previously.
Oh. The Chronicle members, you said?
Yeah.
Oh.
The one that's locked.
Yeah. Anyone with... Oh, you know why? No, you should... Well, let me see if this fixes it.
I don't have permission.
Very quickly. Yeah. Now see if that works for you.
Nope.
No? All right, then I'm going to... well, let's do it in general for now. I'll have to look into that later. Let's see, Mr. Jackson. Oh my goodness, yes, very good. Mr. Jackson mentions. He says, looks at it. He goes, "Well, it's a female. It's definitely a female." And let me describe what you're seeing. The corpse is. This desiccated corpse is laying with her hands kind of crossed across what would be her abdomen. She's holding an object which I will get to in a moment in one hand. Obviously, because of the age, a lot of the fibers of whatever she was dressed in is there's not much left. You can't really, but it looks like from the remains it was some sort of robe she was in. But obviously, because of the age and the damage of being buried in this, this certainly isn't a watertight tomb, if you will. The colors have certainly mostly faded, though it looks like it might have been a blue or purple robe. A little hard to tell for what remains, but it definitely was a dark colored robe. Has a simple rope belt tie around the waist, and she had moccasins on. What remains of moccasins, and she had a small, very elegantly made silver tiara on her head. It's very discolored, obviously through age. The silver is heavily tarnished. Can't really. There's a few small little gems in it. You can't really tell what exactly are in those. Exactly gems again by the dirt and the tarnish. But there's definitely some small little gems in this highly tarnished tiara. And in one hand that is crossing her abdomen, she has this wooden pole about a foot long. On one end, there is twined wrappings that are holding a bunch of feathers, dark-colored feathers, on the bottom, and on the top, this item has the top of the wood is then carved into a round orb, and there are some kind of inscriptions written on them. But again, because of the dirt and such, it's a little hard to it's a little hard to see. But that's what you see in this little crypt-like area. Beyond that, she was not buried with anything else.
Shit. I want to say, let's take this, but at the same time, I don't want to touch it. Not because, ew, gross dead bodies, but because, oh, scary could be something scary. Anybody know anything about anything with long dead bodies? My character has no knowledge base to draw from on this sort of shit. Like, nothing.
Mr. Jackson would be the one.
So, while Brian may have ideas, Sydney does not.
Yes. Virgil, you do have a dot in occult, correct?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Anna does not, but she's in the woods anyway.
She got
and Mr. Jackson does not either. All right, make an intelligence and occult roll, please. Target 8.
Wow, target. All right. Oh.
Wow. Two things kind of pop in your head about this situation. First, that object she is holding, you're pretty sure that's a magical fetish. and
Oh hell yeah, wizard
you
staff.
don't know. While you don't have enough successes to really know specifically of what origin it is, you do know once you look a little closer at the writings on the top of the wooden orb, you do notice that it is writings that wizards and magi use. And the other thing you notice is what remains of the garb she was wearing. You're pretty sure, not 100% sure, but you're fairly sure you've read, kind of rings a bell about garb that certain mage sects use for burials.
This. Okay. Well, if it wasn't clear from the staff she's holding, this lady seemed to be a wizard. A human magi. I don't think she was any sort of Tremere. I'm gonna pick up the staff.
Okay, you pick it up. Like I said, it's not, staff is being generous. It's only about a foot long.
It's like a scepter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, swing it around a bit.
Oh God, yes, it might be magical, so let's touch it. Good plan.
Yeah, I mean we're already in what else?
We haven't touched it yet. That's what else.
How bad can things are already not going great for us?
Things can always get worse.
So hold that thought. Let's jump to Anna. So Anna, you were in the woods. Remind me again. You were looking to see where they came. The two shovelheads came from. Is that what you were doing?
I think she was just scouting, looking for trouble.
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I couldn't actually hear anything, so I had to disconnect and reconnect.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was just looking for trouble to see, because they came from that direction, so I wanted to see if there were any more people or anything.
Okay. How far deep in the woods do you go?
I kind of want to figure out what direction they came from, so...
You have a general idea. It was because of the massive amount of successes you got with the Auspex. Who was using you were the one who used Auspex, right?
Me.
Yeah, you had a pretty good idea that the path they came from the woods.
Okay, I just want to check that path and make sure there's no one left behind. They didn't leave any equipment, anything like that.
Okay. Are you trying to do it as stealthy as you can?
Yeah.
All right. Roll Dex and Stealth. Target 7.
Okay. Does my what's it come into it here or no? My real fast.
No.
Celerity. Yes.
Yep.
Target 7.
Oh wow!
4 successes.
Very nice. You pretty stealthily avoiding any large branches on the floor of the woods and avoiding anything that would make a lot of sound. Very, 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 very quietly, you work your way down the direction where you saw them, and you go to a few minutes. Again, this is a rural area, so there are patches of woods like this, but they don't go on forever. They are limited. And within about 4 or 5 minutes going through these woods, you come to the next roadway. And you see parked on the other side of this road, you see what looks like a abandoned sedan. There's a couple other houses, nearby on this road. Some other Victorian houses. Not that close by, but you can certainly see them. But yeah, this car and a couple of nearby houses on this road, and that's about it.
Can I use my auspex to see if there's anything like alive in this area? Is that something I can do? I'm not sure.
Yeah, you can. I will say that you detect you don't really pick anything up.
Okay, I'm gonna approach the car still stealthily.
Okay. Okay.
Is it unlocked?
Yes, it is.
Are the keys in the car?
You peer in and you don't see the keys in the ignition.
Is the trunk unlocked?
The trunk is not, but without the door, you can always hit the trunk button and pop it if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You pop the trunk.
Anything in there?
You go around back, pop it open, and it's mostly empty except there's a couple shovels, and there is one more can of gasoline.
So
If I go back into the car, is there any chance that I'll be able to like hotwire it or something? This isn't on a skill set, but
that would require intelligence and hang on. Intelligence and streetwise target 8.
larceny usually.
Oh, larceny. That's what I was looking. I'm sorry. I had. Yeah, I'm sorry. Larceny. Sorry, my bad.
What?
Yeah, larceny and intelligence. Sorry, my bad. Well, re-roll because I changed it on you. Larceny and intelligence. Sorry. Target 8. I had security on my brain, Donovan. That's why I was like,
yeah.
But they changed it to larceny.
You cut out again for a few seconds there. Sorry.
Oh no,
I failed. 0 successes.
Oh, okay. No, unfortunately, you pull out some wires. You think you got the right wires, but unfortunately, the engine does not turn over.
All right. Can I just case the car for anything else useful in it then?
Yeah. Make a roll of perception and alertness. Target 6.
And alert. You said target 7?
6.
Right. 2 successes.
You find the keys under the driver's seat. You find the ignition key, and in the glove compartment, you find a loaded semi-automatic .45 pistol.
Nice. So can I try and drive it back over to where the others are, but like with the lights off?
Yeah, absolutely. You have a drive skill?
No.
Okay. Roll.
I'm gonna
Driving through the woods.
No, on the road. Isn't there way back around?
Yeah. You could. Yeah, you could loop around. You can definitely loop around too.
Cautious.
Okay. Roll just your dexterity. Target 7.
Okay. Anna's a city person.
Huh.
Okay, going slow and steady. You are successfully getting the car looping around and heading back to the roadway entranceway to the construction site. So, back to the dig site. So Virgil, he picked up the fetish, and nothing seems to,
And is waving it around like a lunatic.
Yes, and he's waving around like a lunatic. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna.
While he's doing that, Sydney, please make a perception and awareness target 7.
Okay.
While you're kind of face palming what Sydney's doing, at the corner of your eye,
Virgil.
Oh, Virgil, yes. While Virgil is waving around like a madman, you, on the corner of your eye, you're almost convinced you saw the head of the corpse slightly turn to look at him.
Fuck that. Nope. I've still got a shovel. So
he was too busy waving it around to notice that. It
cool.
Seems.
While he's playing Harry Potter, I'm gonna fucking decapitate this bitch.
Okay. You take the shovel, you shove it, crack it down, and the head goes flying off its shoulders.
Gotcha, bitch. Coup
How was
d'etat.
that for?
Bitch moved.
What?
She moved. She was looking at you, waving her stick around.
Oh, hell no. Let's get the fuck out of here.
I'm telling you. Does she ash or anything like that?
Nope.
Anything?
Nope.
Nothing weird else happens.
Nope. It's just like you just smacked a mummy, basically.
Oh, wait, what about the crown? Or tiara?
I mean, we should take everything with tongs, put it all in a box. Like, no. Stop touching things. That
I
should
already,
be...
I already took this, might as well take everything.
That is not good logic. That is terrible logic, in fact. That's like, all mountains are not, all mountains are safe because this one's not a volcano. That's just bad logic. So
I'm looking around for the tiara.
Oh well, it's still on the head. The head just was broken off from the shoulders of the corpse. It's still rolling around inside that little tomb area.
Yeah, don't touch it. So let's pull it off there with like a stick or something and put it in like a box.
Okay, well, and there's plenty of little containers in this it's a construction site, so it's not too hard to find. You find a small plastic tub.
Sweet, Tupperware.
Yep, basically.
So take the tiara, take the staff. Do you have anything else on her that you described that was kind of woojy?
Pick up a bit of
the ring. The ring. Yeah. How are we gonna get that off? Cut her off her hand. That's what I do. Cut that. Right?
You take the shovel and you just.
Yep.
Yeah.
Use the blade of the shovel and cut that bitch off too. Okay.
And so you throw all that in the rubber container.
So, do you guys know anything about mummies? I certainly don't.
Mummies?
Yeah, mummies. Not like, ancient Egypt, like pharaohs and shit, but like mummies, like desiccated remains that can, don't worry about the magic side of it. Magic, or let's say desiccated remains. That's still technically a mummy.
That would be Mr. Jackson. He's a doctor or whatever.
Okay. So
let's see if he knows anything about. Let me make a roll for Mr. Jackson. Ooh. Ooh, well, it would have been a good roll if he didn't get that. Get that one. He's heard rumor. He says he's heard some rumors about corpses coming back to life, the mummies, but he he doesn't doesn't really have much real knowledge beyond surface knowledge about it.
Fair enough. Let's assume for a minute that the Ventru clan and the La Sombra clan are not filled with complete idiots across the board, and that there may be something to this here corpse. Now, by taking the things from this corpse, we are essentially throwing the middle finger to both of those clans. And by destroying this corpse, we are then shitting in their cereal and asking them to eat it. So, I would assume that this corpse, especially since I'm pretty sure I saw this bitch move, has something woojy going on. Now, I don't know if mummies can reassemble themselves. I don't know if it's dead now. I don't know if it was never alive in the first place and I'm just hallucinating. But I think that we burn this fucker after we take everything that's shiny and we put that shiny stuff in a box, and then we make these fuckers come to us. We can maybe negotiate, at least with the Venture. The La Sombra, I think, are going to try to kill us, regardless. Well, at least me. They hate me. They hate me bad. But we did just break, a number of laws. Not just mortal laws. I'm talking like we broke onto a Ventru-controlled territory, dug up a corpse, stole things off of it, potentially burned it, even though that ship's not sailed yet, and then left. So we're thieves and grave robbers and corpse desecrators.
Sure, that sounds like a great plan.
I wouldn't be hearing any of this, would I?
No, but by this time you are just pulling into the dirt road, into the you're driving down now. While you're doing that, Sydney and Virgil and Mr. Jackson, they see a car with no headlights pulling down the dirt road into the construction area.
I roll down the window and hold out a hand, it's me, guys.
As we all just open up on the fucking... Not that we have any guns. Or
No.
we have one gun?
Me.
Yeah.
Just me.
Okay. Just you.
I have 2 guns.
Great. See?
Now she has 2 guns, yes.
2 guns.
This
Yeah.
is like a commentary on the, the wealth gap.
Yes, she pulls up in a somewhat beat up Ford Taurus.
Oh, no.
Four-door sedan.
We can hear you. Or not anymore.
Oops.
Can you hear us now?
Sorry.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So
That's
Anna pulls up into the construction site in a beat up Ford Taurus, 4-door sedan. It's about looks to be about a 8-year-old car. A little bit of patchwork done on it. One of the back tail lights is busted out.
A bunch of wires hanging out.
Yeah, now there's some wires hanging out of the dashboard now. So she you pull up to the rest of the group without incident.
Hooray!
Oh, now we're stealing cars?
I mean,
yeah, it's not the worst thing we've done.
I just cut the head off a body.
Just an observation.
It's almost certainly their car, so it's better than leaving it here.
Right. And Bill
Yeah,
sucked
sure.
anyway. That guy was a dick.
That guy was a dick.
This way they can make it look like they successfully completed their task and left versus
Right.
vanishing.
I am all for it. That's smart thinking. Actually,
Sure.
since you're here, can I get your input on this?
Yeah.
That corpse, I'm pretty sure moved, so I cut its head off and then I cut its hand off, and I think we should put all of its shiny bling into a box because I think that the Ventru and the Lasombra knew this thing was here.
That sounds
And-
like a good idea. I don't think we should dispose of the corpse here though, because if
Oh.
it's occult, I don't know. I mean, like I can see traces on people with auspex. Presumably, people who are better at auspex than I can see more.
Are you using auspex on the corpse?
Oh yeah, I shouldn't I? Yeah.
Do you have 1 dot, 2 dots?
2 dots.
Oh, right. Sweet. She should
Yeah.
be able to see an aura on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it's a thing at all.
Well, give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah, it's totally fucking still
The
alive.
second he says mummy or undead or magic effect, any of those things, burn it.
Yeah, I mean
Burn.
it's a
Burn
wizard.
it!
Drag it into the woods. and
fucking
burn it.
undead wizard. So
Make
I
it
mean,
look like
wizards
a
always do like necromancy shit, right? They have like magic powers that can do that, right?
I mean they could do that, but I don't think there's like one faction and it's like kind of like bad.
I mean,
I mean it could be like some kind of independent wizard. I don't know.
Okay. This is what you see in the aura of the now somewhat busted up corpse Anna. You see the aura is a combination of many colors. There
God, it's
is
got an aura.
there is deep red. There is black veins going through the
Diablerist?
deep red.
Oh,
And there are what looks like a myriad of sparkles around the aura.
Magic effect? Fuck.
Fucking Diablo wizard.
It's Diablerist magic effect. I don't remember what red is, but anyway,
I think
so
it's thunder.
and I don't know these two things, but I'm just saying you should tell us these things.
It's like
I
it's
described
anger, Diablerist, and
I was right on all three. Fucking A, I'm smart.
Yeah. So we probably don't want to just leave this corpse here. It seems to have an aura, which is a problem, and its aura isn't good. It's diablerie, angry, and magical effect.
You know what? As soon as she says Diablerie, I am busting my hand down through this thing's chest, and I'm pulling out its heart.
Okay, you do that without issue.
Yep. Sweet. Yoink. Yomp. Yum. I eat it.
You eat it.
100%. I'm already fucking like.
It.
I'm already a damn fugitive. Fuck it. Why not embrace this whole fucking like, badass lone wolf idea? Not that I'm a lone wolf in any way, shape, or form, but everybody thinks I am. So.
Oh dear.
Like most.
How did it
Even
not
if you
die?
weren't a kindred,
Uh huh.
even if you weren't a kindred, it would basically taste like ash, even if
Damn
you were
it.
just human. It's you take a bite. It's definitely not. There's no liquid in it. It's definitely a desiccated and shriveled up heart, and it just basically disintegrates in your mouth when you bite into it, and the whole thing just like crumbles.
Well, I tried.
tastes like chicken.
Tastes like ashes, actually. Tastes terrible.
Well, anyway,
Is this thing
Burn
still alive?
Will I know that?
I hope not.
Well, if it
Fucking-
still has an aura, it's still jumping.
You do notice that the aura is now you said you did remove the items, right? The
Yeah.
bling, right? You do
Yeah.
notice though those colors of the aura are quickly fading.
The colors are
Oh,
fading from the corpse.
I say we burn this bitch.
Stomp on it to make it quicker.
How about we make it look like the corpse got up and walked away and burn it somewhere else?
All right, so we're gonna like weekend at Bernie's this thing.
Yes.
All right.
Sure, I'm
looks like-
down.
make it look like the scene's been, I don't know, like everyone just got up and walked away.
Okay.
Oh, you think
So-
there's more around here? That'd be cool.
No, the two, Sabbat.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
what we staked
Well,
that are in the trunk.
how about? All right. So, can we find some rope?
Absolutely. There's definitely some coils of rope around here.
Fantastic. Then, Virgil and Jax, can you guys please loop these ropes around the shoulders and then pull her out in sort of a haphazard way and walk her towards that sedan that Anna got?
The shitty one.
Yeah, the shitty one. Yeah, I don't want that shit in my car.
Yeah, alright.
We're gonna get rid of the sedan anyway.
Right.
Okay. You do that without incident.
Oh,
Great.
We should move anything valuable from the sedan.
What you
Did you
found
not?
was the only things of interest.
What did it?
The keys
gun.
and the gun. Yeah.
What
There
kind
was
of gun?
the it looks
45.
like it definitely looks like this car had not been used for very long. There wasn't like any real sometimes you see empty drink containers for a used car or paperwork or something, and pretty much this car, while it's old and beat up, it definitely didn't have any signs of any long-term use.
Could we figure out how to make the car just like? Could we set the car on fire somewhere, out of the way,
Sure.
or something like that? With
We've
her
got
in it?
gasoline aplenty.
Oh yeah, remember you had those two guys were carrying two jugs of gasoline, and there was a
And we've got
third
her.
one in the trunk.
Just need a match. Cha cha cha.
We should conserve the gasoline, but just use as much as we need to make the car explode. But not here, somewhere nearby.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure there's plenty of abandoned locations near here.
Oh yeah, like I said, this is a very it's like 2 acres of trees a house, 2 acres of trees a house. That's kind of
Right.
very rural area like that.
Though I would suggest we don't burn anything out here in the woods.
No,
Just
no.
in case.
We could go an area closer to the water.
Well,
I don't know.
that was me.
Yeah, there's a bunch of small ponds and lakes in this area.
So we should just park it like by one of those, not near anything, like near some dirt or cement or something where it's not gonna burn the whole fucking place down.
Yeah, about a mile away. There is a small park with a small with a bit of a largish pond, and you could always put it park in the parking area is pretty close to the water, so that's an option.
Yep, let's
Yep.
burn it.
Sounds
Okay.
good to me.
You pull at this time of night. There's really no one in the park.
Does one of us
You wait
follow
till
the car?
any cars go by, and then you're all alone.
Cool. Let's light this bitch up.
Okay. So what do you do exactly?
How do you guys think the best way to do this is?
Step 1. Liberally use gasoline.
Mhm.
Step 2. Light match. Step 3. Stand back.
Well, is your goon still here?
Yeah.
Have your goon light the match while we're further away. He's
Why?
less sensitive. He's not a vamp, yeah?
Yeah, that's true.
He's not gonna freak out at the fire.
Well, I mean, as long as we're a safe distance away from it, we shouldn't either.
Oh, okay. Then let's do safe distance. And
It's,
remove any
it's
of
not
the
like, oh,
gasoline.
fire! We go running like cockroaches when you turn the light on.
You could.
The
Hell,
mean-
let's just light her up.
Yeah,
Like, whatever.
just light it up.
All right. Yeah, you light it up. The car catches very quickly with all the accelerant you splattered on it, And you said the corpse is inside, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Are the guys you staked inside too, or no?
No, they're in the trunk of the other car.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just getting rid of the corpse we dug up.
Right,
And
we're just
the
getting
car.
rid of evidence.
In the car, correct. All right.
Yeah.
So, how much? Now just as an FYI, the car had its tank was 2/3 full.
It's
So
gonna explode.
you know,
Yeah.
just saying, FYI, when you parked it, you had 2/3 of a tank of gas. So, you.
Fucking book it.
I'm not sure how long you want to hang out with the burning car, but
Well, there's another car here, yeah?
Yeah.
well, his car,
Stay in
yeah.
that
Okay. So, are you hanging out with the burning car, or are you once the car catches, you're going to make an exit?
Well, I mean, we'll sit in our own car and wait, like, safely at a distance back.
Okay.
Just to make sure it totally, goes up all the way.
Okay.
You don't want to, like, leave the job half finished.
Right.
Did we save any gasoline, or do we have to use all of it?
You used one of the jugs.
So we still have 2 left?
Well, you used
Right.
one. Used one for the jackhammer, so you have
Sweet.
one left.
Sweet.
I take
Mhm.
I take the box with the bling.
Right.
I put on the tiara.
You put it what?
Put on the tiara.
You put on the tiara?
Can I? when
God
you-
Sure.
damn it!
Look at him?
Stop touching things!
Can I look at him with Oscar
This is-
when he does that?
It's not Barbie dress-up time!
Is that what your character says?
Yes!
Oh wait, no. It's silver. It fucking burns.
He put-
Ah shit. Oh, it's burning.
Well, no, silver doesn't affect most kindred, so.
Well, no, but I have that flaw.
Oh, then it burns. Yes.
Ah
Yes.
shit.
Yes. What's you put it on, and now you have this mark, this tiara mark going across your forehead. Because it's so
Alright.
small, we won't take any damage to it, but it definitely did hurt and definitely left a impression of the tiara on your head.
Good, you deserve that.
It's
Oh, this could belong to a wizard. Better touch it. Lick it next time.
Can I look at the box of stuff with Auspex?
Yeah. The tiara. So what items did you guys put in the box again? The
it should
tiara,
be
the
tiara,
wand,
the ring,
and the ring.
and a piece of cloth from the robe.
Okay. The cloth, the cloth sample, and the ring have no aura. The tiara has a very, very slight sparkle aura, and the scepter or wand, well, however you want to fetish, however you want to describe it, that has a blindingly bright sparkle aura.
What does that mean again? Magic?
Magic.
Yeah, magic.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that again, but I particularly just wouldn't touch this scepter. You could probably scepter.
Yep.
You could probably take the cloth or the ring, though. It doesn't look like they have anything particularly magical about them. But just like maybe not the scepter or the tiara.
Let's not just.
So it is magical.
Yes, Harry Potter.
Good to know.
Let's
I'll noted.
let's not just like, oh, let's play around with all the dead person's things. Let's can not that I don't trust, Anna, but let's I don't know, get these appraised before you play dress up with them anymore. Then we can see where we're at with these things. I mean, yes, we're in a little bit of a tight spot financially, but let's put these safely in the box. Leave them there. Okay? Mages are not known for being stupid. As far as I remember, these, will workers are on the level with us. Or better. So, put them in the box. Keep them there. And we can get them appraised.
Magic could come useful for.
Do you use magic often? Do you have a deep working understanding of how magic works?
I feel like it wouldn't be too hard.
No, it doesn't sound hard. I know that I woke up yesterday and I had an epiphany of like, man, if I just crossed X, Y, and Z, then I could time travel. No, fuck that. I'm sorry, but no. Since we have no working knowledge of how magic works, if you twist the wrong way or you say the wrong fucking word, I don't suddenly want to be a toad or something terrible. So let's put it in the box. And, we will come back. We will put a pin in this, okay? Could be useful? Absolutely. Do we know how to use it? Absolutely not. Therefore, in the box. I don't want to stumble accidentally onto, how to use this thing. Like, do you all see that Avengers movie that came out recently? That Endgame thing? That one dude got turned into a baby and then an old man? That could be like the light version of what the fuck just happened or what we could do to ourselves. Let's not do that.
Alright.
We have a meeting to get to, right? Oh,
yeah,
I found this
absolutely.
gun. Do either of you know how to use guns? What's the map?
I have no understanding of firearms beyond the fact that you're supposed to pull a trigger and a bullet comes out one end.
Okay.
Also,
yeah, maybe you could hang on to those.
Sure.
I think this Lego set did not come with all the pieces. I'm going to have to call the Lego people. Say, give me my pieces. This is what I do when we're playing games, by the way. I'm exercising in my office and putting together Legos. 36-year-old man, this is what you got to look forward to.
Oh goodness! All right, so by this point, it's getting pretty close to midnight.
We should.
Yeah, all right. We should go over to the meeting now.
We should
Yep,
start planning
stake it out.
You might want to make some emergency Molotovs with the gas or bombs. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, it's not a terrible idea.
Just in case we need to escape quickly.
Does anyone have any dots in science?
No.
That would be the one that you'd need.
No. Does Mr. Jackson know? I don't know. He's the assassin.
Mr. Jackson does not. He's very good with medicine. He's decent with technology and computers, but he has nothing in science.
Virgil?
Science is not. Science is not my thing.
Yeah, demolitions falls under science.
Yeah. So if you want, you can just hope for the best and make just a raw intelligence roll with a
I mean, I don't think we should be around playing
target
with
penalty.
gasoline.
You can try
Yeah,
that.
I don't want to fuck around with something that's gonna potentially explode and light on fire and everything else on fire if I don't know exactly how the fuck it's gonna work.
Using the gasoline is not a bad idea. I just don't think we should do anything with it until we need it, since we don't know how to make these things.
Right. Good call. Boom. Boom.
So let's just keep the gasoline.
As is.
There's my Giovanni pin. I was looking for that.
We could maybe put some in like a little container that we could pour. Just a
Isn't it already in like a jug?
Yeah,
It's a pretty big jug, right?
it's in a gas can, so I assume
Yeah.
it's between 1
Yeah.
and 5 gallons.
Yeah, it's a 1 gallon metal gas can.
I just would really like something that we could, if we get caught in this, presumably very, very Sabbat infested area, we could, just have something to freak them out. Chuck it
Sure,
in some
like
spawn.
throw some gasoline at them and like
And skedaddle.
yeah, sure. Is there? Well, where are we right now?
What's
Alright,
that?
what do I do?
Where are we right now?
Oh, you're just about a mile or so. You're a mile or so away from the construction site. You mean you're in Dorchester right now, just over the line from South Boston.
I guess.
You're actually from the address that you have of where this meet takes place. This place takes a bit deeper in Dorchester, about a 20-minute drive away.
All right, so I guess we could drive by a store, pick up like some, I don't know, some glass containers that we could I don't know, fill with gasoline and throw with the Sabbat if needed.
Sure. I'm not sure how they'll catch fire, but yeah, that works.
I mean, they won't catch fire, but they'll be doused in gasoline, and then we could light them on fire if we.
Oh, then we should just grab some matches as well.
Yeah, so we pick up some I don't know, glass containers and.
We find a
Matches.
24/7. You find a. Well, actually, you know what? You might be even luckier. Oh, you're even lucky. You're able to find a 24/7 Walgreens.
What is that?
Walgreens it's like a pharmacy store.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's a combination. Yeah, it's
Like shoppers.
what's that?
Like shoppers.
Yeah. They're a pharmacy, but they also sell convenience store items as well.
Right.
Gotcha.
So so you're not able to find this. They don't particularly just sell empty glass jars, but what you are able to do is buy a bunch of Arizona tea bottles, which are glass, and just empty out the iced tea in them and fill it with gasoline.
Sweet. We should also buy a few.
So how many of those are you buying to fill with gasoline?
10 or so.
10?
Yeah.
Okay. So whoever has the cash, each that'd be $20.
Nope.
Yeah, I got like 25 that Anna gave me.
Okay. So minus $20 from your assets.
And then we should also pick up enough lighters for everyone. And some
Matches and lighters.
Okay, so we'll just call it even $25 total.
20 what?
$25. The $25 he has. So with the matches and lighters, another few more. So with everything, $25. That'll be the $25 that he spent on everything.
Okay.
Okay, I'm poor again.
Yes, you are. All right.
So now you're
Okay.
ready now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys heading to the meet site?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
But not
Oh.
like getting super close, right?
Yeah,
Close
like
close
a-
enough to figure out what the hell they're doing, but not like close enough to be seen.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second, guys.
I have a specialty in this.
I can turn
Eavesdropping?
to.
Not driving.
I mean, yeah. I guess I could turn into a bird and
Yeah, that's
get a
smart.
bit closer.
Good idea.
I don't know what I can contribute beyond, walking in there and saying, "Look at me."
Maybe don't do that.
Yeah, seems like
Put on this gasoline suicide vest.
I mean, I don't know. If any of us gets
Just in case.
caught, you can cause a distraction.
If hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. With words.
I mean, that's why I have presents.
Hmm.
There it is. Hey, I found the other Legos. Sweet. Problem. Don't drink and build Legos.
Okay, so so by the time you get there, it's just slightly past 12:30 in the morning, so you're almost a half hour early from the alleged meetup time. So you're this is again a bit more condensed. Not it's still a rural area, but definitely more condensed. It's the more traditional suburban kind of area of Dorchester. A house, a small yard, another house, a small yard, pretty close by each other. It's not as much open space as it was in the other area you were in. Not as woodsy or such. I mean, there's trees and such, but it's much more condensed. Dwellings and such here, scattered with convenience stores and occasional. You see a dry cleaner here, a 24, a convenience store there, a small boutique here, kind of thing scattered throughout this, but it's mostly residential. The house in question looks. This area is definitely pretty rundown. It's certainly seen better economic times. Most of the buildings are in disrepair. Definitely, at best, you would say the income of most of the kind here is probably lower middle class at best. A lot paint is faded and chipped from a lot of these buildings. A broken window every now you see a broken window here and there. The porches, some of the porches, the wood frame is rotting away. Vines creeping up some sides of some buildings. Most of these buildings have tenants in them. They're not abandoned. There is definitely a smattering of abandoned buildings, totally, but this is definitely a fairly depressed area. Clearly, the house in question is a old 2-story Victorian house. You see no lights from the windows whatsoever. There is a van in the driveway. It's on a slight incline hill. It's basically in the middle of this row of similar buildings, residential buildings. This particular building does have, some of you might be familiar with some of these quote unquote underground garages where when a building is on a hill, there is this open facing where that's where the garage is. It's kind of like built into the side of the hill per se.
Sure.
If that makes
for cars.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems like that that garage door is open, and there is a van parked inside that garage. Though there is no activity in that garage at this point. There is a light. There's a single hanging light from the ceiling, lighting that area, but there's no movement in there. Beyond that, though, there is, and again, you can't see any movement or even light in any of the windows of the building. It looks pitch black. You see, at least, and you're only looking at the front of the building at this point. But at least on the front of the building, you see no figures of movement.
What do you think, gang?
Well, it's still early, yeah.
Well, half an hour early. No one's here yet.
No. Doesn't
I
look
mean,
like
could,
you'd think that the hosting party would probably already be here by now.
You'd think. Can I use Auspex to see if I spot anyone? Like, I'm gonna activate heightened sentence, but can I look for, like, auras? Is that a thing? I don't know.
Aura perception is usually like an individual target once you see them, but because it's more of an intense investigation.
Okay. Then I'm gonna focus my heightened
Does she have
senses.
enough dots to see entities through walls?
No.
No.
No. Okay.
That's
Or,
the right thing.
Yeah. Heightened senses doesn't appear solid objects.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
But I could focus my heightened senses on my sense of hearing.
Okay.
Yeah,
See if I can
hearing is
hear
probably
anything.
better.
Yeah.
In this.
Okay. And she has to make a standard roll for that.
Yep.
Done with. Okay. Make perception and awareness target 6.
Three successes.
You're quite confident that you definitely hear voices and movement in the house. Absolutely, there's definitely some conversations happening. You can't really make it out, but you definitely hear murmurings and talking.
Okay.
They're not talking loud enough for you to hear at this distance, but you definitely hear there's definitely movement and conversations happening. If you were to guess the amount, maybe 3 or 4, maybe somewhere around there.
There's already 3 or 4
And
people.
and you can't see from this. And there is some sort of noise coming from the garage, but you can't really see. You can't see anything from this, but there's definitely someone in the garage. The van is probably blocking the line of sight to that person, but there's definitely somebody in the garage or something in the garage.
Sorry, what's that last bit?
Somebody in the garage.
Oh, okay. There's someone in the garage, and there's 3 or 4 people, it sounds like, that I can hear inside.
Leave it to the La Sombra, just sitting around in the dark, bunch of weirdos.
Alright, you guys stay here, keep your heads down. I'm gonna go take a look.
I can also, if I get a little closer.
What do you mean
I'll
you're
be
gonna
able to-
go take a look?
I flap my arms around.
Ah.
Yeah.
If
Is this
I
all safe?
Yeah, I'll be okay. So, I would assume I know my limits in my bird form. Would I be able to carry at least one of the gas containers?
No, that'd be too heavy for bird form.
All right.
Guess it depends on the
just,
bird.
yeah.
Well, yeah. What kind of? What do you?
Well, I'm a crow.
Yeah, that'd be too heavy.
Yeah, pretty tiny.
Maybe like a fucking
I'm
bald eagle or an albatross or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not that cool. So I'm gonna turn to a bird and I'm gonna get closer,
Okay,
but not like close enough where they can.
No, you could get a good vantage if you fly on the lamppost in front of the house.
Something like that.
The electrical pole. You could get a pretty good view of the house and be fairly close.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so that takes you a moment to transform and -1 blood. Anno, you said you wanted to do something?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna ignore that advice. I'm gonna go a little closer, not close enough that a regular vamp would be able to see me, but close enough that I should be able to see better and hear better.
Okay. There definitely are many cars lining the street of the various residents. Um, you could use those cars parked on the side of the streets as cover if you want to get a little closer.
Yeah, is it possible to get around the side of the house without them spotting me?
Yeah, I mean, actually, because like I said, it's basically in the middle of a row of houses. If you wanted to cut through the yard of an adjacent house and then, use, cut across cut across the side of the house and the backyard of them, and then swing around from there, you could definitely, get to the back of the house by cut, just using a neighbor's throughway.
Right, I'm gonna do that
Okay.
as stealthily as possible.
Okay. Roll Dex and Stealth. Target 6.
Okay. And I do have a specialty in shadowing, but I'm still just sneaking up in general.
Right.
I don't think that applies.
Not for this.
You need to spy on more people.
Really?
It's target 6, right?
Sorry, 6. Correct. Oh my goodness!
Okay.
You are nuts. You're like Rambo. They don't even. You are just all right. So you are working your way through the. You cut down the road, cut into the neighbor's yard, and start working your way around his house and across his yard to get into the back to check out the backyard of the house in question.
And I'm gonna try and find like a spot that I can just kind of settle in and not be seen, like a bush or something.
Okay. Let me get back to you. So, at this point,
did you all know that Rambo was a book before it was a movie?
I did not.
Yeah.
oh,
See, it's my job to dole out useless information.
I mean,
Virgil.
Bird Jill.
Virgil, I like it.
Oh my
Virgil.
God.
You by this point you have had enough time to turn into a crow, and you have flown to the top of the power pole. And you're looking down, and you notice a couple things that you weren't able to see from the distance you were at before. First thing, the reason that the house looks totally dark is because it looks like there are blackout curtains in all the windows. So they very possibly are not sitting in the dark. They very possibly might have lights on, but because of these heavy blackout curtains, you can't see it. Of course, it works the other way around. They can't see anything on the outside either. So, it's a double-edged sword. And now you're closer, like Anna, you definitely can hear, a little bit of sound coming from inside the house as well. Nothing abnormal, just normal people moving, people talking, what have you.
Are there any like rats or small animals around?
There is a raccoon going through the neighbor's trash can.
Oh, what? Sorry.
A raccoon.
Oh shit. I'm gonna fly up to the raccoon.
Okay.
Ask him if he knows a way into that house over there. Just by any chance.
Roll. Roll wits and empathy, target 6.
All right.
Okay. The raccoon seems to basically mentions it got into the attic one time. It crawled up the back of the house. There is a rose. What's the word I'm looking for? The the thing the roses grow up.
A trellis?
Thank you. A rose trellis, and it climbed up that, and there was a small hole in the roof that it got into and went into the attic, and got into the attic that way through this trellis.
I
Now,
thank
the
him.
impression you get is the hole is obviously not big enough for, a human. Obviously, it was small enough for a raccoon, but it seems the key point there is there's a rose trellis in the back of the house.
I thank him and I go looking for that hole on the roof.
Okay. So you fly away and you fly to the back of the house. So Anna, back to you. Oh, by the way, is anything going on with Sydney that we should address?
I just don't have the skill set for the situation. If we're like going all Metal Gear Solid, it's not that's not really my jam.
Okay. So you're hanging out with your servant?
With my what? Sorry?
Your servant?
Yeah, I guess.
And the two goals that are staked.
If something comes up, that you think that I can participate in, let me know. But beyond that, no, I'll just be here building my Legos.
Okay. Anna.
Yeah.
You get to you cut across the yard. You're not seen by neighbors or anyone else, for that matter. And you look at the back of the house. It's a small yard. It has a rusted out barbecue and some dilapidated lawn furniture. And two things of note. You see some storm doors that seem to lead to the basement, like most storm doors do, in the back. And you see a rose trellis up the one side of the house.
Does the rose trellis look like it'd be heavy enough to support me?
Make a...
So much for keeping a safe distance.
Make a intelligence. I'm not sure where to. Intelligence investigation, target 6.
Okay. Oh, 66, 60, 10.
Okay. Yes, it's debate. It's yeah. It's, you have your concerns whether it can hold a full-grown human.
I'm not gonna risk it then. Would it be possible? I want to get as close to the house as possible while also not being noticeable if anyone can see through walls or anything like that.
I'm sorry. Say again.
I want to get as close to the house as possible without necessarily standing out from the background if anyone can see through walls or anything like that.
Okay. There's really nothing. The yard is fairly small, and as I said, there's not really anything of substance that you can really hide behind. At this point, you are behind the bushes in the neighbor's yard that borders their backyard, and you're behind those bushes, and that's about the best cover you're going to get from behind the house.
Right.
I mean, you're fairly close, but
How well can I hear?
You can still hear some murmurings, conversations going on, and occasionally
But, like, can I
people
make it
moving
out?
around. I'm sorry?
Can I make out what they're saying from this distance?
Um,
With my senses focused on my hearing?
let me see. Oh, there's one particular bit of conversation that you're able to pick up, discern, and it seems like this man and this woman, and they seem very nervous. They seem very unsure about a meeting, and
Chance the meeting were eavesdropping.
and they seem very unsure about the meeting, whether this meeting should even take place.
Probably.
This, Terrence, he's a Cammy fuck, and we shouldn't trust him. And I mean, just because, Angelo said that he trusts a guy, that could totally fuck. If he's wrong, that's totally gonna fuck us, and
Okay.
it's going to expose us, and we definitely don't need that. He goes, "This is," and they're definitely expressing their concerns about Terrace and this meeting.
Sorry.
Goddamn Terrence.
I'm just thinking. Is the trellis the only way to climb up to scale the building a little bit? Or is there some way to just kind of climb up the sides? Like, what kind of siding is it?
It's just standard wood planking.
So it definitely wouldn't be able to climb it. I'm gonna head towards you said there was a way into the basement through here?
Yeah, there's a pair of storm doors in the back.
Alright, I'm gonna see if I can listen to see if there's anyone in that area in particular, and if I can't hear anyone, I'll go that way.
Let me see. It definitely sounds like someone's doing some sort of work down in the basement. You definitely hear one figure down there moving around, moving something or doing something down there that's making a fair bit of noise.
Cryptic.
I'm gonna head that way anyway, but like as quiet as possible and as cautiously as possible.
You're gonna head to the storm doors?
Yeah, see if there's a way to get through them without.
Okay. You get to them. It's pretty obvious that there doesn't seem to be any lock or anything preventing you from opening them.
Are the hinges rusty?
A little bit. Depending on how careful you are, it's definitely going to make some amount of noise. Now, how much all depends on, quite frankly, your roll. But
right. So I'm going to try and be as quiet as possible opening it then.
Okay. So while you're doing that, let's go back to Birdville. So Birdville, you've flown up. By this point, you have flown up to the back of the roof, and yeah, right. It seems like on the eve of the house, there's part of it has rotted away, and there's a bit of an opening.
I'm gonna fly into the house.
Okay. You can fly all the way up to the hole, then you kind of gotta like waddle in because there's not enough room to fly. But you're able to kind of waddle in. You're kind of in the wall voids of the house, and then as you keep on going a little bit farther, you get to this hole in the wall that apparently this is how the raccoon got in here, and you kind of peek in through the hole, and it's a partially finished attic. Seems to be some basic storage up here, nothing of note, and on the far end there's a staircase going down, and there's no one up here.
I'm gonna skip over to the staircase.
Okay. You hop over in your little bird form over to the staircase. You peer down, and the staircase goes down to the second floor. And there's at the end of the staircase there's a door.
Do I hear anything from this place?
You definitely hear some movement and talking, right below you.
And the door's closed?
It is closed, correct.
I'm gonna turn back into a human.
Okay. So Anna, I need you to roll dexterity and
Sorry, I don't know why my internet's so bad. Did you say?
Oh, sorry.
Roll yet?
Yeah, roll dexterity. Yeah, sorry, I'm debating on opening a door quietly, Donovan. What do you dexterity and with stealth? Would that really?
Sure.
I'm torn. Really, stealth?
Either go with that or security. So.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just do dex and stealth. Target 7.
Okay. Oh, also, before I do that, I'm gonna call Sydney and mute his side of the call on speaker.
Okay.
Because if I'm gonna do something reckless, he should know before he has to run away if I get caught.
Before I have to run away. Thank you.
So what you said you're calling Sydney?
Yeah, but I'm putting him on I'm muting my phone and putting him on silent so that
I can hear it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Sydney, your phone goes off, and I think you're about to hear a door creaking open to some degree.
Yeah.
You got 5. Was that you? 5 successes?
What target? No, that was last
target 7.
I mean, that was me, but it was.
Yeah.
Can I use is willpower a thing I can use here? No.
You can burn a willpower to how many dice did I get you to reroll, Donovan?
Willpower?
Yeah, she wants to burn a willpower to reroll.
I think willpower lets you reroll. If you spend a willpower, it gives you an automatic success before the roll. Double check. I don't use willpower very much, so.
That's fair.
Yeah, same here.
All right.
I'll just take my seconds.
I mean, you didn't fail, in fairness.
I didn't fail, and I didn't botch.
No. So that it could be worse. It could be worse.
It could be a lot worse. And the person in the basement's making noise, so.
Yeah, exactly. But on the other rolls using. Oh yeah, 266. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. The only thing you could have done with it is say you wanted to spend it before your roll to turn a
Alas.
failure into, yeah. So unfortunately, you're kind of stuck doing that with one success. So you open it, and there is a bit of a creak, metal on metal creak as one of the as the left door opens. It goes,
Shit. That door sounded like a cow.
yeah, and I mean, it wasn't loud enough where the whole where the whole house heard it, but anyone in the immediate area, you're fairly confident might have heard something.
Well, that's unfortunate.
The understatement of the day. That was unfortunate. Well, don't worry, Donovan. In a few moments, you're definitely gonna have something to be doing very quickly.
That blows. That doesn't sound good at all.
That doesn't sound good. So, does that perhaps sound even? Would you even say sounds ominous?
Yeah.
You hear the Anna when you do get that door open. You hear that whatever the moving or whatever the work was being done in the basement. You hear that come to a stop. And there's a pause, and then you hear a voice from the basement go.
Sorry.
Is that who's that?
Ain't nobody here but us chickens.
Would there be anyone I know who I can pretend to be? Like, do I know anything about low-level Sabbat? Wait. What were the name of those two dudes? Did they give me anyone?
You got Angelo, and the only two you know of definitively is Angelo and Carlos.
Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna dart back out into the bush and leave the door open.
Okay. Roll Dex and Stealth.
Okay.
And then this is where your celerity definitely can come into play. Also add one. You can add your celerity dice as well.
Okay, I will do that. Target.
Target 7.
Okay. Come on, success. Oh, no. 4 successes.
Oh, okay. You're able to very quickly and quietly zoom across the lawn, jump, do a diving roll over the bush behind the bush.
Yeah, I'm hiding.
What's his face?
And
gangbanger's name.
Bobby.
Yeah. Bang.
And there's a while you right as you get behind the bush, you see a figure walk up the staircase from the storm doors, and he steps out into the backyard, and he's kind of like looking around.
Do I recognize him?
Nope.
He doesn't seem particular. Oh, can I use my oral perception?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is kindred.
Cool. Do I have to make a roll for that?
Usually, yes.
Yeah.
Each success tells you one thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So should I? Sorry, I don't know.
Yes, I'm just going to give it to you just to kind of speed things up.
Cool. So he's a kindred.
Yes.
I'm just gonna wait for him to
See what he does.
Yeah, because there's that. Is there anything in the backyard? I'm just gonna hope that he sees something in the backyard that he'll assume that is that.
Okay.
Pull a Skyrim.
Sydney.
Hmm.
Well, so you're while you've been sitting in your car, it is very late at night. There's not a whole lot of activity in the streets at this time. But there's an occasional person walking by, occasional car goes by.
Sure.
But this coming from the opposite side of the street, as coming down the road, you see a dark gray pickup truck, and it as it comes down the street, it comes to a rolling stop in front of the house in question that you're scoping out. And make a perception and alertness roll, target 6.
All right. Oops. Nobody here but us, chick. Ones.
One success. You peer, it's pretty hard to see, but you just catch enough of a glimpse of the driver, and you do recognize it as Terrace, the Bruja Hound from the court.
Da 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 da. The sheriff is fucking evil, just like I've been saying this whole time. That bitch. Hi.
Well, this isn't the sheriff. This is one of the hounds.
But this is the hound that was supposedly loyal to her, right?
As far as you know, yes.
Yeah.
He's like, yes.
The fucking circumstantial evidence is just piling up.
I still have hope.
But he's not getting out of his vehicle. He is waiting inside the vehicle in front of the house. And that's what you see. Do you do anything, or are you just observing for now?
This guy's name...
Terrace Villas.
Terrace Villas.
That's his name? I thought that was the name of his house. That was the apartment complex he was living in.
No!
I thought that was the guy whose apartment we went to. And
It was.
The betrayer.
It was. The hound, yeah.
Yeah. But he's not the loyal one. He's the one who... Is he? Is he the loyal one?
No. That's the one. That's the apartment that you raided, that you found all that evidence about this meeting. Yeah.
Terrace Villas.
Yeah. Yeah, that was not the one that has unknown loyalties at this point.
Oh, he's supposed to be the loyal one. Gotcha. I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. I'm going to keep observing.
Okay. He seems to be, it's about 10 minutes before the meeting,
I wonder, how far away from your house is it?
Is he?
Yeah.
He's parked, he's parked basically, found an empty space roughly in front of the house. So the front steps to the house is, about 60, 70 feet.
Okay. Oh, I want to know if I can do something stupid. Yeah, I'm going to do something stupid.
Okay.
All right, so I get out of the car, and I am going to casually, like I belong there, walk up behind his car and come around to the driver's side and knock on the window.
This could go extremely good, extremely bad.
Yeah.
There's no gray. There's no gray.
Prepare yourself for the extremely bad.
Okay. So you slip out of your car.
You two are the one that are fucking infiltrating the base where we're like, oh yeah, safe distance and observe. Fuck you.
I didn't say that. To be fair.
So Birdville. Oh, actually, you're Virgil again. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've transformed back into your humanoid form, and you're in the attic.
Yeah, and I open the door in front of me.
So you go down the stairs, and you just open it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, carefully and slowly, and without trying to not make much sound.
there. Let me see. There. Let me. Oh my goodness! All right, that was an incredible roll for you. You needed that roll. That was an incredible roll. What I just did for you. All right, I need you to make a dexterity and stealth target 8.
All right, I can do this.
And let me just say, it would strongly, strongly behoove you to make this.
Huh. Yeah, no pressure.
So if you want to spend your willpower, spend it now.
Yeah, spend the willpower. It gives you an automatic success.
Exactly, Drac. Exactly. That's exactly what he was doing.
All right, I got a good dice pool.
You going to spend the willpower?
Yeah, willpower.
Okay, so make a roll. And now, so that turns one failure into a success, right, Donovan?
No, it gives him one automatic success.
On top of whatever he gets.
On top of whatever he gets.
All
He
right.
cannot botch at this point.
Like that.
Good fucking thing.
Like that.
Oh boy.
You are so lucky you spent that willpower, dude. You are so lucky.
I think he still gets one success.
Yeah.
No, I put it in. Well, I put it in the roll.
I understand that, but I'm pretty sure that
Oh, it automatically gives him one
it's
success.
one automatic success. Like you are going to pass,
No matter what.
So
Right.
you don't pass by much, but I think
Yeah.
limit.
You very slowly open the door, and there is a male figure, kind of dressed in jeans, jean jacket, dark t-shirt, with his back toward you, and he's kind of bent over this table, and there is a man strapped to this table. This table has various medical instruments all scattered around it, and there are splatters of blood, everything from fresh blood to blood that looks like it's been caked on there for months. And track. The guy is like squirming, and he has a gag over his mouth, so he can't really scream that much. But whatever this figure doing hunched over him is obviously not being very not pleasant experience, needless to say. And that's the room is the room looks like, to use an old analogy, or looks like a doctor's office that Freddy Krueger would have. If that analogy means anything to you.
Sure. I think I'm just gonna stand over here and listen.
Yeah, when
to
you opened up the door, he did not notice you opened it up, and again, his back is toward you, and he seems very focused on whatever he's doing to this person strapped and bound to the table.
Is there, like, from where I'm standing, can I see like any sort of hiding spot that's closer to these?
The room isn't that big. The room's only maybe 12 feet by 15 feet. It has in the center of the room, it has this. We'll be generous and call it an operating table, and around the edges a bunch of fold-out card tables with various medical instruments, and you also see several of them have glass jars of what seems to be blood in it. And there are other jars as well of various body parts. Eyes, brains, tongues, fingers.
Ugh.
So the answer is no. There's nothing you could like slip, and there's really nothing to hide. I mean, you're pretty confident. You really lucked out. He's very focused on what he was doing. The door didn't really make any made very little noise. And between him, this guy kind of trying to scream with this gag in his mouth and everything, kind of muffled whatever noise you happened to make opening the door. So and this guy's back's toward you. So really, your options is staying there and and eventually be seen, or do an action, or try to quietly get back up the stairs. Because anything else beyond that, he's definitely going to notice at his peripheral vision or hear.
I mean, I'm gonna walk back up the stairs
Okay.
and close the door.
Okay. Make another dex. Make another dex and stealth roll. Target 8. Okay. You close the door, and he guy does not seem to have noticed what happened behind him.
What an idiot.
Damn. All right.
All right. Let's get back to Anna.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were hiding and just observing what this guy's doing. He seems to start kind of. He looks around, listens, doesn't see anything, doesn't hear anything, and so he starts just kind of taking a casual walk around the yard, just kind of like, kind of like peering around, trying to see if he sees anything in the distance or and such, and he just kind of, he's clearly someone opened the door, and he's kind of interested in trying to figure out what's going on.
Cool.
And
I'm gonna try and dart. When he's like looking into the distance, I'm gonna try and dart through the open door.
oh my goodness! Oh well, you do have celerity.
Reckless.
Okay.
So quietly.
Yeah. So Dex and Stealth, plus your celerity dice. Target 8.
Okay,
I'm gonna use a willpower for an automatic success.
All right.
Well.
Mark off a willpower.
Target 8
Yes.
plus 3 plus 1.
Okay. Oh wow! You so while he heads away from the door, deeper into the farther to the far end of the yard, while he's peering over to the fence to the neighbor's yard to try to see if there's anything over there, you while his back is turned, you leap over the brush with blinding speed with your celerity, move toward and get down the stairs into the basement without him seeing or hearing you.
Nice.
All right. Sydney. So you just kind of nonchalantly, casually walking down the sidewalk on the side of where the house that you're scoping out in question, and you stop in front of the driver's side door, and you knock on the window. That's what you said you were doing, correct?
Yep.
All right. Terrace kind of casually just looks over to see who is knocking on his window, and if he was mortal, you're fairly confident if he was mortal you would see the blood drain from his face with the look of awe and shock on his that he seems to have when he looks at you, and he seems to immediately recognize you. And he stands there for a moment, a bit dumbfounded, with this I said, this look of shock on his face, and he hits the button and the window comes down.
Oh, he is my bitch now. All right. Dominate. We're going to go to this meeting together. I'm going to let you do all the talking until the negotiation comes up, and then I am taking over. At all points in time during this meeting, you need to let them know that I am both supposed to be there and that I am your superior. I speak when it's necessary for me to speak. Until then, you are my lackey and you do the talking.
Does he get a roll to oppose that?
Oh, absolutely. What's his willpower?
Let me look. His willpower is...
And it's +1 difficulty if he's looking away, but otherwise not. Right?
Well, he said he looked at me.
Yeah, that was his... That's exactly what you wanted, right? That's
Yep.
exactly what you were looking for, yeah.
Also, I haven't been applying all of my fucking merits so far to my dominate rolls, and now I'm gonna. So he is gonna eat a fistful of bullshit.
He has 4 willpower.
Okay, so my difficulty is normally 4. However, I have enchanting voice. That makes difficulty 2. Also, I also have commanding voice. That gives me 2 extra dice on leadership rolls, of which this happens to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
So make your roll, please.
You were good at this thing.
So
that is Sydney's thing. This is Sydney's thing.
I have 90-10 target. So he's my bitch for the night.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because he
can't.
can't.
And tens are double.
Because that's more.
So that's actually 7 successes.
Yeah. Because that's more successes than he has willpower to roll, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. He blinks. He blinks for a minute. His pupils dilate for a moment, and he goes, "Okay, that sounds
excellent."
Good."
Probably hang up the call. Still
Ba ba
going?
ba 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 ba. Now let's just hope the other people don't fuck it up for you, Sydney.
Yeah.
Wait, do you hang up on the call?
Why would I hang up on the call?
Because if you hear some weird it's like some weird noises come from your pocket and you're in the middle of this meeting.
Sure. I mean, I'll hang up before I actually start talking to anybody important, but I want to be on the call for as long as possible, just in case you
Yeah, that
get
makes
into
sense.
trouble.
Yeah. So let's get back. Let's get back to Virgil. You're back in the attic. You've dodged a very, very dangerous bullet. Thankfully, that guy was so focused, and the guy was screaming through his gag. He didn't really hear the door open behind him, and you really lucked out.
Yeah, this is too risky. I'm gonna I'm in the roof.
I'm sorry?
I'm in the roof of the house.
You're in the attic. There is a window there you can open to get to the roof if you want.
All right, I'm gonna go up to the roof,
Okay.
and I'm gonna look down at the yard, I guess.
Okay. So you open up the window to the attic. You slip out onto the roof. Need you to make a dex and athletics check. Target 6.
Fuck.
Okay, you're able to hold onto the roof, keep your balance, and you able to scurry along it. And you are now basically on perched up on top of one of the gables, looking down at the backyard. What you see one particular figure kind of poking around the yard, looking around like he's looking for something. And looking down, you see that the storm doors in the back are currently open, and so you assume that's where he came from. And he seems to be looking around the yard, looking around bushes, and looking over the fence of the neighbor's yard. He seems to be kind of looking for something, but you're not quite sure what.
Are the storm doors like in his line of sight at the moment?
At this particular point, his back is mostly turned away from the house. He's kind of right now looking over to a neighbor's yard over the fence.
All right, I'm gonna swing down and into the basement through the door.
That I definitely need another athletics dex. So you're gonna just basically gonna kind of do a little slight jump off the roof and just fall all the way down into the open
Sure.
doors. That's
Yeah.
that's the plan. Okay. There's absolutely no way you're not going to make a crashing sound, even if you successfully land onto the wooden stairs. You realize that that's definitely going to make a sound.
Well, if I can I like climb down?
Yeah, you can. You could use your claws to, the wood isn't that strong. You can use your claws to kind of, scurry down the side of the house if you choose to.
Sure. I'll pop my claws and I'll climb down.
Okay. Make a. I need 2 rolls from you. First roll. Let's see if you successfully do the climbing down. I need Dex and Athletics. Target 7. Oh, you almost fall. One of the pieces of wood kind of gives way a bit, and your claws kind of pop out, and but you're able to, with your other claw, you're able to hold on, and you are able to do that. Now the second roll I need is Dex and Stealth, target 8. This is to see if he hears or sees you coming down the side of the house.
I'm gonna use my last willpower on this roll.
Okay.
Does that matter that it's your last one?
Yeah, he'll take penalties to future rolls that by using all his willpower, I think he has a permanent -1 to all rolls.
All rolls going forward, yeah.
Yeah.
You sure you still want to do that? Okay.
Yeah, I just can't fail this one.
Okay. Oh, yes. You very quickly and stealthily, while he's still poking around, looking at the neighbor's yards, making sure, trying to figure out how those doors opened up, who opened them up, you're able to slide down the walls, very, very, very silently, scale down the side, and jump into the open doors without him seeing you. Very nice. So, Anna and Virgil are now together in the basement. Anna, you see Virgil just kind of pop down.
Nod.
Pop down into the basement with you. The basement, now that you guys are both here, let me describe it. There's a staircase on the far wall that goes up to the first floor. It's a mostly unfinished basement. Wooden beams for support. Dirt, partial stone floor. There are metal cages, several handful of metal cages strewn about this basement. There are several corpses in the corner. And in two of these cages, you see there are two naked women. There are two naked women, and they're breathing, but they're not responsive, and they seem they look like definitely there's a lot of bruises and contusions all over their body, and several bite marks as well. And they seem either passed out or unconscious or something.
I'm gonna use my aura perception to see if there's anything funky or if they're just like kind.
They're kind.
Okay. Are there any doors, ways to go up, forward?
Yeah, in the far door there's a staircase going up to the first floor.
Is it
from the basement?
Is the door open?
No.
Is there any sign of
You
what
walk
the guy
over,
was...
you look up, and the door is closed.
Okay, is there any sign of what the guy was doing when he was down here? Because he was making loud noises, right?
Yeah, there are a lot of large crates. That looks like he was moving these wooden crates on the far wall, moving them around.
Are they like sealed shut with nails? Is there
Yes.
any way to poke into them?
They are nail shut.
Okay, can I smell them? I want to sniff one.
Yeah. Let me see. Roll intelligence and firearms target 6.
Oh god, no.
Oh my goodness. Very strong scent, but you can't place what it is.
I gesture Joker over and like shrug in the direction of the crates.
I'm just glaring at her because I told her not to come here.
Okay, I guess I ignore him then. I'm gonna go over to the door and see if I can look in.
All right, let's get back to Sydney.
Okay.
Sydney, so you're there with the Hound. Terrence. Yes.
Okay. So
he's still sitting in the driver's seat, looking at you.
So who told you to come to this meeting, Terrence?
He goes, Rebecca.
Just check.
Fuck. Rebecca Gray, that's the sheriff.
Oh! Somebody's an evil bitch!
It let me down.
Go figure. Can't trust those gangrel. Or is it Bruja?
Bruja, she's Bruja.
Yeah, Bruja, sorry. Can't trust them either. Anyway. Alright, well, everything that Rebecca told you to negotiate for, do as you will. But when it comes to the end of your whole spiel and you get through everything that you're supposed to say, I'm in charge of the negotiations from that point forward. Cool?
Okay.
Dig it. Let's go into this meeting.
All right, so he gets out of his pickup, rolls his window back up, locks the door, and he heads to the front door.
Can I have your keys, by the way?
He goes, sure. And he hands you the keys. He gets to the front. Get to the front door. He uses the bottom of his fist, bangs on the door a few times, and
So, were you told before we get in there? Were you told to be placating to the Lasombra? Were you told to be aggressive? How were you told to deal with them?
He says, "Well, we did. Rebecca told me to just make sure that the deal that we had already agreed upon, they were going to uphold their end of the bargain."
Okay, make sure to reiterate what that deal was specifically when we're in there, okay?
Okay.
Thanks.
And, I have a feeling Terrence is not going to have. This is not going to be a good night for Terrence. I really have this feeling.
It's not going to be a good night for Terrence. And then after we're done with this meeting, I'm going to start conditioning Terrence. Terrence is going to be my new bitch boy. Conditioning takes a long time, though. So when we've got some downtime, we'll start doing that. Also, I totally feel a blood bond coming his way.
Poor Terrence. Oh, it's too funny. So, after a few moments,
I turn off the phone with. I send her a text, be like, "Hey, I'm going off speaker at this point in time. Me and Terrence are gonna go negotiate this deal." Click.
Okay. All right. So a man of looks like Mediterranean descent opens up the door. He's wearing surprisingly granted it's an off the rack casual business suit, but it's not as nice as yours, granted, but it's A for effort kind of thing. Like a men's warehouse kind of suit.
That's not effort. Effort is going in and getting measured and having your suit tailored. Like, off the rack? I'm sorry. Whatever.
He has to die for that.
That's why the Lasombra are a cheap imitation of us.
He's wearing a casual business suit. Though interestingly enough, for a casual business suit, he's wearing like work boots with it. He has,
but I won't say anything.
Yeah, he has pretty standard short haircut, and he has 2 scar marks kind of going across his right cheek. Jagged scar marks. And he looks at Terrace. He goes, "Excellent, you're on time." And Terrace goes, "Angelo, so let's get this over with."
All right, write down the descriptor of Angelo.
So Angelo enters into this. You don't go too far. You just go into the front room. Has a couple basic pieces of rundown furniture, hardwood floor, which has definitely seen better days, peeling paint on the walls. And you notice the reason why you couldn't see anything is there are lights on here, but because of there are heavy blackout curtains on all the windows. And so it makes sense as to why you didn't see any of the activity or lights in here.
Fair enough.
So Angelo is flanked by one other. You assume another Sabbat person. You don't recognize them. And and so let's get this over with. And Terrace goes, yes. So just to reiterate, so we're all on the same page. Rebecca wants to make sure that the position that she was promised will still exist when the new hierarchy is put into place here in Boston.
Mm.
You know, it is a non-starter if she doesn't get the vacant bishop position.
She wants to be like Bishop of War or something.
And Angelo goes, I've talked to the Archbishop in Worcester, and he agrees to those terms. Goes, good. And he says, with that said, I unfortunately was told to report that some people we thought were on our side have unfortunately met the final death in this little in this little upheaval that has happened as of late. So unfortunately, we are in the process of hunting down some loose ends. It's taking a little longer than we anticipated, and Angelo kind of raises a hand, and he goes, "Speaking of loose ends, who is this exactly?" And he points to her, and he points to Sydney. And Terrace goes, "Oh, yes. Rebecca just brought him on. He is definitely committed to joining the Sabbat when all is said and done, like the rest of us." And says, he's fed up. He is fed up with the Ivory Tower and the control they have, and pretending that the antediluvians don't exist, and that the war is coming and the final nights are upon us, and he sees a light. And Angelo says, "Oh, I say, it's just funny. You've never mentioned this. I don't even know this person's name, though he does look a bit familiar. Something about him rings a bell. I just, where have I seen you somewhere?" And he looks at you, Sydney.
You have. You've seen me before. You, for all I know, is one of the people that was potentially looking to embrace me. I realize that there's some enmity between our clans, but it wasn't my fault that you all didn't get to the goods first. Sorry, but as soon as this power shift happens and the Sabbat fully take over Boston, the first person I'm killing is my sire for giving me the curse of being Ventru.
He says, "Oh, yes. Yeah, that's why you look familiar."
Right.
I
only wish to someday be as immediately equipped as the Lasombra are.
Well, you are of a lesser blood, but perhaps we'll have a place for you.
I know which way the wind's blowing. If anything, being Ventru's told me who the winning team is, so there you go. A blessing hidden within a curse.
This is excellent. These are very well. I cannot say that others of my clan won't be as pragmatic as I'm being right now.
No, it's fine.
but
I'll do what I can, and I'll stay in the background. I realize that my existence is something of a snub to your clan, and I can only apologize for being what I am, but all the same, I think I can be more useful alive than dead. I mean, obviously, I've already been promoted above Terrace here.
oh, really?
Absolutely.
And Terrace nods in agreement. He goes, really? So Rebecca has that much faith in you?
It would be silly to not.
Well, the only point of contention I have, to be honest, okay, if we're going to be completely honest in these negotiations.
Prefer honesty.
Indeed. Is, Terrence, and I'm assuming you as well, have been very, very deceptive, and, well, perhaps deceptive isn't the word I want to use. Have been very less than forthcoming with who's really calling the orders to Rebecca. I think I really should know the actual person that orchestrated the prince's death, and it seems like while I understand Rebecca as directly the right hand woman of whoever orchestrated this, I still don't know who actually orchestrated it, and I think if I feel like I'm going through a lot of intermediaries rather than talking to the actual person that actually organized the assassination.
Well, I'm guessing you're going to have to talk to Rebecca about that yourself after we sort out this deal, because we've already worked out the ifs, ands, or buts, crossed the T's and dotted the I's, shaken the babies and kissed the hands. So let's make this deal happen.
So he pulls out a map, and it has he opens up his jacket, pulls out a map, and shows Boston. Basically, all Boston basically carved up in various Sabbat packs, and the downtown and Back Bay area is marked to have directly. Looks like Rebecca is going to have direct control over that, as well as being the bishop of the city, oversee all the other various territories that are marked up. And he says, so this is the territory as how we see it should be divvied up.
Do I see any other Sabbat packs on the paper that I could remember? I have eidetic memory, by the way. So
yes, no, it seems like most of the packs that are in the Dorchester area is they're going to move over to more plentiful and fruitful territories, and it seems like from what the notes and the scribbles on the map, it looks like Dorchester Roxbury is just going to basically be a quote-unquote breeding ground for New Sabbat. That's going to be their shovelhead recruitment center, if you will, and then all the handful of packs in the Dorchester area are going to spread out and just take over various parts of the more profitable and plentiful areas of Boston.
Okay, sounds good.
And he says, and of course, you Terrace, you will, as per what Rebecca said, you will become a pact priest under her in her territory. And
bitch is evil.
and he just nods in acknowledgement, and he says, "So, is there any other details we want to discuss, or you have concerns with?"
And I apologize if you've already stated this, but I'm a forgetful person. When specifically are we going to be making this final push to oust the remnants of the Camarilla?
Well, what our spies tell us is there's a lot of confusion right now. And interestingly, we've heard that there is... they spend an inordinate amount of resources hunting some neonates for whatever reason. We don't understand why that is. We're still trying to get more information on what's transpiring on that level. Do you know anything about that?
Well, clearly they're idiots. They're chasing their own tail. So
with that said, we're looking. We're calling in some more reinforcements from Worcester, and we're going to be staging here, and we're hoping to make a final grand push in 6 nights. And we're hoping within 2 weeks the Camarilla will be eradicated, and we'll have moved in to all their territory.
Well, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable timetable. I'm excited about this changeover. Finally, we can start behaving like real kindred.
Exactly.
This whole hide from the mortals thing is wearing thin.
Indeed. If more kindred would take such an enlightened view, then a lot of this bloodshed could be avoided.
Absolutely. Just so I've been wondering about this, and I've been kept out of the loop lately from my own clan's dealings. What is the Lasombra interest in blah 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 address, the place that we were just at? The construction site.
Roll. Roll perception and empathy, target 6.
Am I looking for a reaction on his face?
Yes.
Or? Nope.
He simply says, I'm not familiar with what's happening over there. I'll have to talk to some of my people.
Interesting. Well, I know that the Venture have been very uppity about owning that location lately, and they said that it's under threat by the Lasombra. So anything I could do to help, and the more information I have, the more helpful I can be, because I can give my own clan misinformation for the next few nights.
He says, well, he goes, he says, well, when can we expect to actually sit down and talk to Rebecca?
I give the nod to Terrence. Go ahead, Terrence. Let him know.
Terrence says, well, she is, she's trying to condense resources right now for her own protection, but currently she is holding out in Cambridge, and we could definitely I will pass the message along, and that you actually want to have a face-to-face with her directly, and we can set something up over the next few nights. And he says, yes, I think that would be the most appropriate thing, to actually talk to her, and then maybe we can actually talk to whoever is pulling her strings, and we can actually get all of this will come out, and all the secrecy will get to the point where all this cloak and dagger will be moot.
I look forward to that too. If anything, I've heard that the Sabbat is a more open and freely sharing of information sect, because you have some sort of blood ritual that I've been told, where you share blood.
Yes, indeed. We will educate you in the proper ways of the kindred. Don't you worry.
I look forward to it. At least then I can feel like as though I'm a part of something, rather than just a lone, forgotten soul out in the woods that the Ventru have cursed with this being.
The getting to the basement. Yes. Boom. So, you guys, you said you looked around, and there is, as I said, a door leading up to the first floor that is closed.
Can we hear anything? Like, from the first floor? There's it's an old house. There's not a lot of insulation. Definitely you hear, some talking going on, some muffled conversation. Definitely sounds like there's several people on the first floor. Virgil, you still glaring at me?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Alright, I'm gonna sidle over to the door and see if I can't open it quietly.
Damn it! Don't go through the door!
You haven't told me that you're in the meeting, have you? Have you given me a text that you're in the meeting?
I sent you a text that me and Terrence were going into a meeting. That should have been a clue as to, hey, I'm doing shit.
Oh, okay.
Because we all know that Terrence is the fucking hound, and he's not on the team.
Well, then I'm gonna retreat out the back. I thought you said that the text was just like I'm going dark, in which case I would have.
No, I said that me and Terrence are going into a meeting.
Yeah. So if we don't hear fucking people fighting, I assume we can.
No. It seems just conversation happening and people moving around, shuffling around upstairs.
Right. Yeah, I think it's safe to assume that everything is going fine with them.
Okay.
I want to investigate one of these crates. I'm gonna gesture Virgil over.
Okay.
I go over.
I'm gonna whispering, I don't know what's in here, but it smells really strong. See if you can't get it open or detect something I couldn't.
I'm gonna find a spot. Can I lift it?
It's the crates. The crate's about 300 pounds.
All right, I'm gonna squat next to the crate, and I'm gonna find a spot on the bottom corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna try to cut open a hole with my claws on the.
Okay. So you're clawing on the bottom of the crate or the top of the crate?
On the side, the bottom corner. Yep.
The bottom corner. Okay.
Yeah.
You claw on the bottom corner, and interesting that you happen to do this particular thing on this particular section, because you easily can claw through the wood. It's a fairly soft. It's made of just pine, so it's pretty soft and pretty easily. Your claws easily can cut through it.
Pine and termites.
What's that?
Pine and termites.
Yes. You cut through the corner, and you see that the crate seems to have been built with a false bottom. and there's the top section, but the bottom 2 or 3 inches is actually a false is a false bottom, and leading to like the last 2 inches or so. And you see in this 2 inches, packed very tightly in that area, are a lot of filled blood bags.
Or
Score.
you know, the more shit you take, the more suspicion you're gonna arouse.
Just then you hear the storm door slam shut, and standing there at the base of the staircase is that kindred who was looking around the yard. And he goes, "What the hell is going on here?"
Talk fast!
Hey, man. Fucking Carlos sent us down here to get some blood bags for the meeting. Didn't he let you know?
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
god.
be, like, angry.
Roll manipulation and subterfuge, target 8.
Okay, I'm gonna set the willpower for an automatic success as well.
Okay. Okay.
Solid call.
Manipulation and subterfuge, target
Yes.
8.
Yes.
Just fucking bluffing. And then I'll just do it after. So -2 automatic success, so not a
Right,
not
it's
a
not a botch.
No,
it's still
one
automatic
success.
It's one success.
He stands there for a moment. He seems torn whether he believes you or not. He's like,
You could roll, Peter, if you want to make it a roll, you can always do wits and empathy to determine whether or not he
believes it.
believes it.
Yeah. Wits. Right.
Fail.
So they gotta get. He has to basically get one success, right?
He is the defender, so yes, ties go to the
Yeah.
Botch.
He needs no successes in order for this to work.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And he gets the same target, right?
You can set the target as whatever the fuck you want.
Just for fairness, I'll set it for the same. And unfortunately, he got a 4, 5, and an 8.
An
8.
So
Yeah.
So that's it's 1-to-1, and he's the defender.
So he immediately roars. His fingers turn to claws, and he leaps at you.
All right.
Well, shit.
Can I try and slam him into the pine?
Roll initiative.
Okay.
Which is Dex and Wits plus D10.
As a heads up, Peter, it is 7 minutes to 6, and I am gone at 6.
Oh, okay. Let's hold it off here, guys, then, because this is obviously going to take more than probably a few minutes, and then because things might go very south for all involved at this point.
Not me.
Well,
like, oh shit, you can't protect your shit. We're leaving. Oh no.
Oh no! Run away. That's true. You do have a cover.
I'm gonna continue to lie my ass off. I'm really good at it. People want me to keep talking. That enchanting voice and the fucking authoritative whatever the hell voice of command is fucking awesome. It's a deadly pair.
Yep. So that's I guess this would be a good cliffhanger, if you will, to leave us off on. Well, everyone, thank you so much for listening to our Boston Neonates Chronicle. Just a quick shout out I actually want to give, because we do have a few people who have been messaging me and saying how much they like our Chronicle. So shout out to all you listeners. Thank you so much for the kind words. Greatly appreciate it. And for the person who gave us a 2-star rating on the website for our Chronicle, fuck you. So there we go. I think this Chronicle's going pretty well, all things considered. It's.
Did they give a reason for the 2-star
No,
rating?
they just gave us a 2-star reading. No comment.
Well, come on, guy. You gotta give feedback. We gotta know what we're not doing.
Right? You just can't just. Yeah, that's a cop out right there. You know, if you give legitimate, hey, maybe you guys should do this, then okay, that's fine. It gives us something to chew on, something to work on. But you just can't say, hey, here's a 2-star rating and no comment. Like, come on, guys, that's amateur hour.
Because there's so much other content out there to listen to, right?
Well, hey, they don't. Hey, they don't have a podcast that unraveling a kindred conspiracy. So there. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for listening, and check out worldofdarknessnews.net for the latest on Bloodlines 2. That's a kind of a thing, really. And we will catch you next week. Thank you all. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.